things that are in that category. I would have wore purple today if she would have told me, but it's probably my fault, probably hers. She should have told me. I feel out of place with you guys right now, but it's okay. A little bit about myself. 38 years old, from Chicago, Illinois. Grew up around domestic violence, around things of that sort. So I pretty much can talk from a position of power about the situation and it getting through it and giving people some type of something to hold on to during this type of thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. I like to engage more. So let's say, everybody say, let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, so let's go through some facts right quick. 1 in 4 women experience domestic violence. Domestic violence is usually between the ages of 20 and 24 of women. They're at risk. 1 in 3 women are killed by their former or current partner. 3 million men per year experience domestic violence, and 3 million children per year experience some type of visualization or looking at domestic violence. This is absolutely stunning numbers for people. 3 million men, like I didn't even know that there was that many men going through some type of domestic violence. And then children, I already knew that because, you know, if you got this many parents in such a, what we call it, a dysfunctional home, they're definitely going to see some type of violence. I want to tell you a quick story right quick about 4 siblings, 1 brother and 3 sisters. From day 1, they saw a lot of violence. The boy is the oldest. His first look at violence was watching his mom being tied to the toilet while his dad told him to beat the mother with a plastic bag. He was introduced to prostitution. He was introduced to, you know, his dad slapping his mom, all type of things. Now, when she felt like she couldn't take it no more, she met a man. He was wonderful at first, got her out of the situation, beat up the other father. He ended up being worse. She had a couple of children by him, the other 3 girls. And throughout 17 to 18 years, they watched their mom get beat from everything with a cast that was on his arm that he beat their mom with, to a broken ceramic lamp that was beat across her head. They even watched their mom get beat upside the head with a 40-ounce bottle for not coming back home. Later on, those children grew up. The 3 girls went through their own domestic violence. The first oldest daughter, she went through her boyfriend. First oldest girl, she went through her husband, ex-husband, trying to kill her because she wouldn't give up any money. He sodomized her in front of the children. He beat her with a truck jack. He beat her with her own purse, a little radio, and one of those pots that you cook grains in. He beat her upside the head with it till it was kind of like right here. It was smashed to that point. When her brother saw the pictures of her, it looked like she had tattoos all over her body. He didn't understand what was going on until he actually looked at the pictures. Another girl has been through her own domestic violence, beaten and scared to leave her own home. Now she doesn't have her children because she was so scared of him that she allowed him to do the things that he did in their home, which was sell drugs from out of their own home. Had all this stuff in the refrigerator. Not enough food, but there's drugs in the refrigerator for them to sell. And then his youngest sister, right now, she's going through her own domestic violence to where she tried to get away, but she went back. She tried twice, but she went back because she's scared. She doesn't know anybody else. She doesn't know anything else. So that's their story at the moment. But I'm not about always talking about the negative. Me, I like to go and find the positive in something. So let's say find the positive.
Find the positive.
So let's do it. 1, do not empower the problem. You might want to get some type of thing that you want to write down if you want to write down some things. Do not empower the problem. A lot of the times we give the right energy to the wrong things. You're walking around, you're saying, well, I need him or I need her. Or I can't leave right now because my situation is different. I can't do this. I can't do that. When you're saying I can't, or this person, I can't leave this person because I need them. You're empowering them and not yourself. And empowering the problem weakens your strength of the power of God in you. Empowering the problem is going to weaken the strength of God in you. Because God did not give you a weak spirit. He gave you the spirit of strength. He gave you the spirit of truth. And he did not give you anything that he didn't have himself. So having some type of weakness is going to give that problem a lot of power. So stop empowering the problem. Tell yourself, I can get out of this. Tell yourself, I can move on. I can do something about this. I just need to find out what it is. So in saying that, we move on to, I'll go back, I'll let you know. First one, do not empower the problem. Do not empower the problem. And in saying that, we go to point 2. Point 2 is more prayer and less pity. More prayer and less pity. Stop sitting around crying. Stop sitting around, woe is me. Stop sitting around revisiting the issue inside of your mind and start praying for a solution within this. A friend of mine in church one time said this, and it really made me look at everything. He said, stop asking God to take your problems away and start asking him to give you strength to overcome them. Because if you don't give him the strength, ask him to give you strength to overcome it, then you will always be trying to sidestep your issues. You'll never be dealing with it. So stop about sitting in your pity party. Get help from the one who can change any circumstance in your life. That's God. You start following him, you start seeking him, start praying, and he'll give you insight, he'll give you discernment, he'll open doors for you, and domestic violence won't be as big to you no more, because there's one thing that I know, that God is bigger than any situation that you have at the moment, any problem, any circumstance, whatever you have. So God did not give you the power of weakness, he gave you the spirit of power. Use it, use your voice and speak to him. So we're going to go to number 3, and let's say move on and live on. Move on and live on. Some of us are holding on to hurt, pain, suffering, bitterness, betrayal, and it's crushing our marriages, it's crushing our relationships, it's crushing everything that we have around us. And if you're still holding on to it, then you're not over it yet. You can't say you're a survivor till you're actually over it, till you actually move on. Stop giving it power. If you're really done with it, then be done with it. Don't speak about it anymore. Don't give it any more power, because if you do, you give that person, you give the enemy, you give that situation, everything around that, power to take over your mind again, power to take over your body again, power to take over your life situations. Because if you don't, if you want something that would empower you in this, I encourage you to go read a book called, or go look online, go to Netflix and find The Law of Attraction. This book or this documentary will show you how I got out of my own personal domestic violence, which I'll talk about in a minute. This book tells you about speaking positive into your life. You cannot. You ever woke up in the morning? Who woke up in the morning like stubbed their toe, and the first thing you say is like, "Oh, this is not going to be a good day." And then you ever notice that it's never been a good day since you said that? That's because you spoke that into your life at that point in time. So your whole day, unless you speak something else positive on top of that, it's going to go that route. That's how the law of attraction is. This is what the Bible speaks of. This is what the documentary speaks of. So you have to do this. And if it's over, it's over, man. Move on and live on with your life, because you cannot sit inside that situation. So I'm going to close up by saying, remember the stories I told you in the beginning? Those are me and my sisters. Every last one of those stories are me and my sisters. Now I'm going to go into my own personal abuse story for a second, so that you can understand how I can sit here and talk from a position of power about what most women go through. Because no matter how big it is, like she said earlier, small abuse, big abuse, it's all the same thing. Everybody's going through it. It all hurts the same way, you know. So my abuse is like this. Before I met my wife, before I got with her, I was with a woman for about 5 years, and I was on both sides of the abuse on this one. Her mental and verbal abuse was so, it was so piercing that I wasn't able to keep a job, wasn't able to keep relationships that I had for at least 10 years before her. People didn't want to deal with me because of her action and what she would bring, the negativity she would bring into the air. It got to the point where I got so angry and so disruptive with her that I started feeling that I can put my hands on her. She got me to the point because she would use my children as a stronghold against me. She knows she couldn't do anything personally, but keeping my children away, putting my children in danger, putting my children in positions that I can't help them, got me to a point where I wanted to put my hands on her. So there were some times where we had physical altercations. There was one time that I know that it just clicked in me where I said I cannot touch her no more. Is when we were sitting on the bathroom floor, and my head was bleeding, and so was hers. I can't do this anymore. Next time this argument gets bad, I got to get out of here. That was my thoughts. So argument got bad again one time, and I told her I was leaving. Well, in that situation, me telling me she was leaving, she went for my laptop. I had to save it because this is this is everything I had. My personal documents, my resume. This is how I'm gonna start my life over if I leave here. So as going for that, she went for my clothes, dumped bleach on them. I got upset, threw the bleach. As I turned around, she smacked me in my arm with a porcelain cookie jar. So I had 3 stitches here, and then I was about to walk out the door. She smacked me in the face right here with a Victoria's Secret candle. Blacked both of my eyes, chipped my tooth, and I had 2 stitches up under here. Gone from there. But as most domestic abuse people, you go back. I went back because I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have people weren't helping me. Even my own family, because of dealing with her would mean dealing with me would mean dealing with her. So they wouldn't give me anywhere to stay. So I had to go back. So after one day, seeing the Law of Attraction on TV, caught my attention from the back room, came up to the front and wrote notes the whole time. After writing notes and listening to it, I spoke for about 8 months into my life. One day I'm gonna get out of this. One day God's gonna get me out of this and I'm gonna be all right, I'm gonna be cool. So a lot of times the abuse didn't bother me anymore. And it would bother her more than it bothered me because I didn't give her any more power. And then one day, I was able to leave. And now I have, a wonderful wife, another child. I'm able to take care of my children the way I want to. And it's absolutely empowering when you give yourself the right attitude and tell yourself that I can move on from this. I want to thank everybody for your time to listen to me and everything like that. I know a lot of times we look at a man, you don't see domestic violence, you don't see something happening to him, but it was good that she brought someone that's actually been through some type of physical, mental, and emotional abuse at this point. I want to give everybody an applause for even being here, acknowledging that you've been through it, and I want to let you know that with the right mental attitude, with the right relationship with God, you can get through any circumstance that you're going through at this moment, and it's absolutely within you to do so. So thank you so much, and I hope everyone have a great night.